Good morning. Welcome to my channel. This is the Jim of All Trades channel. I'm Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a forex trader. Here to help you understand the market from an Elliott Wave perspective. If this is your first time stopping by, glad you came by. Welcome. We are going to be looking at Bitcoin and Litecoin this morning and talking about the trade. Yeah, we had a trade. It went sour, but we were ready for it. If you were trading that with me, I our stop was hit at 10,050, and so but our loss was not very big at all. If you use good risk management, you should be fine. Please be careful in this market. Always pay attention to the trade setups. If I offer a trade setup, please don't just copy it blindly. Number one, and number two, make sure you understand the trade setup and what invalidates it. And if you don't know where the clear invalidation of a trade is, you should not be entering a trade. So I want to talk about those things with you. I want to talk about yesterday's trade. I also want to talk about market psychology. I want to talk to you about the psychology of waves, so to help you understand and not fall into the trap of losing money like a lot of guys do. So let's just jump in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video, and help the channel out. Appreciate those of you who are helping me out on my Patreon. I really thank you. You know who you are, and I really appreciate you. And you're in my Telegram group, obviously, and I just want to say thank you. All right, so what we're looking at here, let me just jump to a clean chart here. What we're looking at, what yesterday's trade was, and this is like two trades in a row that have been stopped out. I'm kind of frustrated about it, but both of them that I had very clean entries as far as where I entered, and the stop was very close by. And so that's the best way to trade, guys. Listen, I don't care who you are and what system you trade, you're not going to get every trade right. Okay, I've just traded this. I've just missed this like two times now in a row, and that's kind of frustrating to me. But we got to deal with our psychology along the way. And so if you're trading, you're going to miss trades, and you might miss two in a row. But remember, you got to keep a couple of things in mind. Keep your entries clean, and what I mean by that is, make sure you're entering in the right place. You're not entering on if you're going long, you're not entering on green candles. You're entering on black candles. If you're going short, you're not entering on black candles. Or red candles. You're entering on green candles, because you want to be doing the opposite of what you think. And I'll have to talk about that in future videos. But let's just put it this way: you shouldn't be entering a trade right now in BTC. A lot of you are feeling like you want to, like you're missing out. A lot of you are having the emotions of, man, this thing's going up. You're just going to have to bring that emotions under control. Let me just remind you of several other times, okay, in this correction that this has done this, okay. We came down really sharply, and then we had a really big move to the upside, but it came down sharply again, okay. Had a big move to the upside, came down and took it all back. Big move to the upside, took it all back. Okay, this is what corrections are, and this is what corrections do, okay. Now, one of the difficult things about this particular correction is that it's triangular and it's oscillating within a range, okay. That can actually be helpful, and it can be difficult at the same time, especially if you don't have the range defined properly. Okay, and so that's what happened with me yesterday. Let's look at that. Basically, I was looking at these two marks right here, these two lines, and looking at that as horizontal support. Okay, I was also looking at that as with confluence with an Elliott Wave count. If I just zoom in a little bit here. I want to show you that I'm looking for 5 waves, right? I'm looking for 5 waves, and so I counted. My count was basically this. I got 1, 2, this was 3, and I was thinking this was 4, and we should be coming up to this region and then coming down to my trend line for 5. Okay, and this is where I was going to go long. This is where I was looking for this move. I was looking for this move. This move was on my radar. I was ready for it. I wanted it. I wanted to trade it, and I missed it. Why did I miss it? Well, I only missed I only missed from here up, okay, because I caught this move. I caught the bottom of this wave because I was trading that. Though I don't share my trades on little scalp trades like that. At least in my mindset, I don't share those trades. So, of course, you might have said that this was a kind of a scalp trade. It's kind of a short trade, kind of maybe a risky trade. Maybe a better play would have been to wait for it and then go long here. That's definitely a better risk reward for sure. But where my entry was, I was okay with it. All right, so basically I was looking at this to be a horizontal support, and this was a descending triangle, and descending triangles basically do this trick here. Descending triangles start, uh, from a high. They come down to a particular level. They make a lower high. They come back down. Uh, uh, sorry. Yeah, they come back down to that same level, and then they bounce up, and they hit that several times until they finally break through it. That's what a descending triangle does. Um, this one actually we actually got the reversal here. So I was looking for a fifth wave down. Evidently we got it. I had to revisit this wave. There are 5 waves in it, but it's just kind of a junky market maker play for sure. But again, Elliott Wave isn't about the market makers don't follow Elliott Wave rules. Elliott Wave is a way to understand the market. And so you've got to understand that there aren't any rules that the market plays by. So we're just trying to understand the market. And so for me, the best way to do it is Elliott Wave, but we've always got to get better in our analysis for sure. We've got to grow. So anyway, so a simple shift in this trend line a little bit to there um, gives us gives us a triangle still, or at least this triangular form. We had to push off this low, and we've gone up. Now, what's been difficult about this is that everything in this wave has been measuring correctively. Everything. Okay, everything in this wave is measuring correctively. And you say, well, if it's measuring correctively, it needs to go, this was measuring corrective to the upside. I was looking for down. Okay, and I think everybody was looking for down. And so what's been happening is that people with money have been pushing price. They've been igniting price to the upside. How do they do it? Well, whenever you have a consolidation range like this, where price is oscillating within a range for days, and this was from the 29th to the 31st. Okay, so a couple of days of consolidation. People are looking to are taking longs and shorts. As price comes down, price goes up, price comes down. Longs and shorts are being created, right? Well, in the short orders, there are stop losses up here, okay, which are buy orders, okay. So if you're short here, there are stops up here, which are buy orders, okay. Then there's liquidations as well as a little higher than that. Liquidations are when someone doesn't have stops, but rather their short just gets liquidated. Their account gets stopped by the margin by a margin call. And so anyway, those are also buy orders as well. And so basically, what happens is all it takes is a little pump from someone with money, and they pump price past this region. And once that happens, it starts a string of events. You begin to have those sells, those shorts are covering their shorts with longs. Other people are beginning to go long because they're breakout traders. I'm just messing the chart up, aren't I? So I can get rid of that. There we go. So yeah, people, breakout traders, will see that breakout to the high, and they'll want to go long, which works sometimes, but it's not a great strategy for trading because not every breakout actually works out. But certainly, if you have good risk management, there's a way to play breakouts for sure. So yeah, so they're longs and they're shorts, and then as price stalls, all they got to do is pump it a little bit more, and they continue on. So yeah, so that's how price is pumped by people with money. They don't have to spend all their money to pump it; they just have to start it, to start the wheel rolling, and then once that happens, they just let it ride, and that's how they make their money on this. Then they're going to take their profit on the upside. You can see where their target is. The target is heading up here for sure. There's no doubt about that. Then, so what are we? What's going on here? What are the potential plays from an Elliott Wave perspective? Well, a couple things. Actually, before I get into that, I wanted to say this about market psychology. So, what you have to understand is that when we have these pumps like this, okay, you're going to have a sell-off that follows it. Okay, it's going to be a correction. Now, how big that correction is, nobody knows. Now, in this particular triangular pattern, that correction is going to be all the way to the trend line, most likely. Most likely we'll see move back to the trend line. So we're bouncing from trend line to trend line here, and so that's what we would expect. Already beginning to see a little bit of a we had a little bit of a pump in Litecoin this morning, and seeing a little bit of a correction here. We'll have to wait and see what that Elliott Wave looks like as well. I'll share that call with you shortly. All right. So in the grand scheme of this count, I've got basically two counts, and this is what I'm looking at. Number one, this could be a triangle, which is shaped A, B, C, D, E, and we're in the D wave. Now, here's the thing. If this is a triangle, and I'm beginning to think it's not a triangle, but it's still a WXY, like I've been saying for forever, since way back here. Especially as this wave made a three wave, that was confirmed that we're in pretty much a WXY. But how is if it's a triangle, what has to happen? Well, in a triangle, everything moves in three waves. Okay, there's three waves. That's the first leg. There's three waves. There's the second leg. Three waves down to the third leg. So we need three waves for a fourth leg. Okay, so if this is a triangle, we should expect a pullback very, very soon, if not now, and a pullback to about at least 50% of this wave, at least 50% of that wave, okay, or so, and then a move to this upper trend line to complete our three waves of this triangle. Okay, so that's a possibility. That is a possibility. Now, the way this wave is taking shape, I'm starting to question that as actually whether that can happen or not. But what we would expect if it is a triangle, what we would expect then is to have three waves up and then another three waves to the downside, and then we're going to take off like a rocket. And in the grand scheme of our count, that would put us then as a four wave. So actually what we would have is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? We'd have a fifth wave. Now how long that fifth wave would be, we don't know. It could be an extended wave. If it were an extended wave, it would be a 1-to-1 extension of that. So we could be hitting $20,000 with an extended fifth wave. I mean, that's a potential, but whether we go higher than that, it could be just a standard. Sorry about that. It could be a standard fifth wave here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. We come up here to I don't know, $18,000 to hit this region, and then we come back down as well. So there's lots of potentials there. We'll look at that later on. I don't want to get bogged down with that too much, but that would be the implications of this being a triangle. Now, this triangle would actually be a four wave because triangles only happen in four waves. Okay, what else could it be? The other option is we could still be in a WXY correction. Okay, could still be in a WXY correction. Let's talk about what that would be. All right, a WXY, let me just kind of get rid of some of this, and I'm going to redraw it here in just a second, but I want to get rid of it. WXY is different from an ABC in that a WXY is made up of basically three ABCs. Okay, it would be, and I've shared this before, but I'm just trying to help you guys understand, ABC, ABC, ABC. Whereas an ABC has 5 waves in the A, 3 waves in B, 5 waves in C. That's a 5, 3, 5 zigzag ABC. Generally, there are other shapes to the ABCs, but that's a general zigzag, basic zigzag formation. Okay, so this is actually 3 waves rather than 5 waves, 3 larger waves. Now there are going to be 5 waves in this wave and 5 waves in this wave. Okay, and it's going to be the same for all of these. 5 waves here, 5 waves there. Okay, so there'll be 5 waves in the subwaves, but generally a WXY is basically a double correction, a double ABC. So we need to be able to see a, oh, sorry, A, B, C, A, B, C. Now we need the Y. A, B, C. Now why is this important and what would be the implications? Why does it matter what the difference is? Well, a triangle, the implication is that it's going to oscillate. Let me get back to the 8-hour here. A triangle is going to oscillate in this range and then probably break to the upside. Okay? Whereas this WXY, it's going to look like the triangle up to this trend line, but then it's going to break to the downside. Could fake a lot of people out for sure. When it gets down here, everybody's going to be expecting it to go long again, but it's going to go short. It's going to it's going to go lower than everybody expects. That's a potential. But that's what the market makers are setting up here. You have to see that. I want you to see that. Now, similar these patterns look until a certain point, and then when that certain point is done. Now, what is so difficult about this this particular ABC here? So we've got an A wave and then followed by a B wave. Why is this difficult? Well, this Y wave needs to be an ABC. Now, generally speaking, we would expect this B wave to look like this. But look what happened. This here came lower than this region. And I was talking to a friend in our Facebook group, and we agreed that potentially what we have here in this B wave is what's called an expanded flat. Here's what an expanded flat looks like. Normally an ABC looks like this. Okay, something like that. 3 waves where the B wave is higher than the bottom of the A wave, like that. Well, a flat correction looks like this, where the B wave comes down to the level of the origin of the A wave and the C wave. So that there's a flat correction, something like that. Everything's going sideways, flat. But here's an expanded flat. Basically, it's a flat, but the B wave goes lower than the A wave. And it does this trick. It expands the A wave, so to speak. Why is that difficult? Well, because this broke the range of A, and so it creates a fake out to the downside. It creates everybody believes it's going down, okay, because it creates a fake to the downside, and then it shoots up. Now, what the C wave is going to be, it's going to be 5 waves to the upside, okay. So that's what we have potentially is an expanded flat. So that means, let me explain it now, best I can here. Doing the best I can to explain complex things. This is our A wave in this Y. This needs to be an ABC. Our B wave is being formed. C wave will come down there. Okay? So in this B wave, we need to see an ABC. So let's zoom in, okay, to the hourly, and let's look at the ABC that was created in this B wave, or that is being created. What we have here is there's our A, there's our B, and we're making our C. Change the colors here. Okay, looks like we've got a 5-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some kind of leading diagonal or something like that here. And then we've got, this is really hard to count. Looks like a WXY potentially, but this, yeah, it's just really crap is what that is. Hard to count. Then we've got a 5-wave structure here, 3 waves here, and this is really hard 5-wave structure there, but we've got a 5, 3, and a 5. So there's an ABC there, and now we're looking for 5 waves to the upside. 5 waves. Okay, and we're getting those 5 waves right now. So what do they look like? Well, it looks like we've got a 1, a 2. Now the 3 is hard here. Is this the top of 3? We're going to get a 4. Oh, sorry, I'm putting the wrong thing down. But this needs to be 5 waves. Is this a 1, 2? Is this the top of 3? Potentially. This is 4 and 5. Or is this the top of 3 right here? Really short 4. And we're going up for 5 right now. Not sure. I'm not sure which. But here's what I know. Here's what I believe. This needs to go there. Here's what I believe. Well, let me just show you the fibs here. This came to the 2618. This is quite possibly our 3 wave here. And then we're making our 5th wave. Quite possibly. So there's a potential that this is just going to kind of go straight up to our trend line. That's a potential. There's also a potential that this is actually sorry, let me try that again. That this is 1, 2, all that's 3, coming down for 4, and we're going to be there for 5. That hold on a second. Let me mute these notifications here. That to me seems more likely, but I could be wrong on that. And the reason I say it's more likely is because of the wave structure here. I've got a 1, 2 right here. Let me see if I can show you. I've got a 1, 2. Then I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see if I can do that differently here. There's a lot of 1, 2s here. This looks like a 1, 2. 1, 2. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let me go back. This is hard to see. This might be a challenge for you guys to see the sub count, but I'll do my best to show you. So this is the 3 wave. Okay, so let's sub count it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and in this 3rd wave here, I need 5 subwaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 right there. So yeah, I'm thinking that this is probably the 3rd wave. We're going to see a correction down to the probably somewhere around the $10,300 range, most likely, before we go up to hit that 5th wave. So should be looking for a correction here. We'll have to wait and see if we get that or not. Our 382 is 10,250 to 10,100. I don't think we're going to come that deep, guys. I don't. We'll probably come down to the structure right here. This is kind of a truncated 4 wave too. It's kind of a weird 4 wave. This could be an expanded flat 4 wave as well. So this could be the 5th wave. Going up as well. So another way to consider it is that we're actually dealing with 1, 2. This was 3. That's an expanded flat 4 wave, and then we're coming up for 5. Okay, so that's another way to look at it. Either way, what we're dealing with here, what we're dealing with here is we're looking for a target area somewhere around $11,200 to $11,300 in that ballpark. That's what we're looking at. Strong potential there. Okay, but that would be our expanded flat to the upside. Then personally, I'm looking for this. We'd have to finish this wave in 5 waves. We'd be looking for this thing to come down in 5 waves. Lots of teaching on that chart. Sorry about that. Not sorry for the teaching. Sorry, it's so discombobulated. So we'd be looking for this last C wave, this ABC wave, to have some kind of 5 wave delineation down here to the $7,500 region to $8,000 region. Okay, so that's what we would be looking for, and this is going to tank really hard. It's going to be fast, probably. So in the grand scheme of the count, this to me is an up move. That's going to be a fake out to the upside and then down. Okay. All right, that's what I'm looking at for BTC. That's a long video. LTC, if you want to hang around for LTC, I'll just go ahead and go through it here. If we break this red line right here, if we break it, then this is not a 4 wave, but we go up from here following BTC. But you can kind of see how LTC is going up, but it's not going up to the same degree that BTC is. And so it's going in the upward direction, but who knows how far it's going to go. So watch this line right here in LTC. It's about $70. If we cross that line, we're going to have more upside, most likely. If we reject at this line and continue, we have one more wave to the downside, potentially. So we'll have to wait and see. This wave to the downside might correlate with a 4 wave on BTC. It could. So if we get that 4 wave, like that pullback down to 10,200 to 10,300 in that ballpark, if we get that pullback, like I'm thinking we might, then LTC might come down here and make this 5th wave here. Look for 58 to 59 potentially as a target in that region. I've had a really hard time with the targets for LTC just because of the wave shape, and it's been quite difficult. Ethereum is doing something similar here. It's having a hard time breaking this high. It's been coming up along with BTC, but you can see how this first wave, we got a 1, a 2. Okay, now how do you count this here? It came up to the 1618, but it came up in 3 waves. It didn't come up in 5 waves that I can see. And so, what is this? What is this count? Is this a leading diagonal? Maybe. So here's this diagonal that's being created again. So basically a leading diagonal would look 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then we're going to come down, and then we'll be going up, for another wave. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure about this because the way I count it, do we got a little dumpy 5th wave here, or do we need another 5th wave? Right now, my count looks like we need another 5th wave, but I don't know. We'll have to watch BTC and watch what she does. Okay, so let's watch this trend line up here. Let's watch what BTC does at that trend line. It's not going to go up straight up forever, guys. Okay, it won't do it. There will be a retrace, and that's when you want to enter. You do not want to enter on these green candles. Okay, you don't want to enter on these green candles for sure. All right, that's a long enough video. I'm going to have to stop it there. I didn't cover everything I wanted to cover, but I'll bring some more. I'll do some more psychology training in another video. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you later.